Niti Ayog had put together a strategy document, a strategy paper on the use of digital technologies, the use of digital innovation. As things currently stand, beyond Ayushman Bharat, beyond health and financial inclusion, where do you believe the next bed of innovation will lie, especially in the context of the development state that the Niti Ayog is pushing for?
Before I answer that, I'd like to actually take you back. What's the importance of digital public infrastructure? I think that's very, very important to understand. You see, I think the digital space grew in an area of benign neglect. Governments around the world allowed them to grow because I think that was required very early on. One didn't understand how these digital technologies would grow and how they would pan out in the long run. But over now, the last 20 years, people have actually realized that there are a lot of externalities that come out of this. There are network externalities, and actually a few firms can actually dominate the entire digital space. And that's where I think the digital public infrastructure concept becomes very, very important. I mean, it's very related to what we call technology commons. And commons are a public good. So there is a fundamental question. Is the digital architecture through which the world today, and certainly the world of the future, is going to be run by a few monopolies or oligopolies, or is it going to be left common on which a lot of innovation, technology, entrepreneurship can drive? And I think that's where India is a leader in 3 areas, and in the thought itself, in content, and most importantly in rollout. I mean, we have been rolling out it in billions. And therefore, you have so many examples of digital public infrastructure in India. And you've got the UPI, you've got Aadhaar, you've got the account aggregator stack, you've got CoWIN, you've got the agri stack coming up, you've got the logistics stack which is coming up, there's a labor stack in the pipeline. So Niti plays an interesting role. I mean, the role of Niti is, as a think tank of the government, its job is to ideate, incubate, and then transfer, the IIT of the government. So as the IIT of the government, I think it's done it successfully. It pushed digital payments. I think it's in the process of pushing a couple of other things. I mentioned agri, I've talked about labor, I've talked about logistics. I mean, the portal was conceived here, but then now you have a department taking it forward. So I see a bright future, and I see this space being an area drive Indian technology and much more Indian entrepreneurship in India and globally.
You know, that's a nice line that you've given us. Niti Ayog